What's up, YouTube? So I got a question about how to actually form that social network. Like I said before, we're not the only small group in America in terms of being professional. So what other groups do, whether it's Indian, Asian, whatever you want to identify, what they do is they have social networks to deal with the whole idea that they're not this big-ass population. You know, only white people can go out and not know anybody, but find people of the same sort of background. It is what it is. So they can go to a spot where they're meeting other white professionals, even though they've never met these people in their lives. But other minority groups, we don't have that luxury. You know, we have to form social networks. We have to be deliberate. And like I said, social networks are based off of friends and family. Okay, staying in contact with each other. You know, people that you went to school with, maybe relatives. But the key is that everybody has the same background. Okay, like I said, for me, the people that I surround myself with are people. We all have the same background. Okay, you know, we're all we all have the same approach to life. Okay, there's a level of playfulness, but then there's a level of seriousness, even whether they're white collar or blue collar. You know, we take life seriously and we're not playing around. Okay, we're trying to be productive. You know, we all have our faults, but for the most part, you know, we're trying to do the right thing. You know, we're trying to set that right example, and I take pride in that. I take pride in knowing that my group of friends, which is fairly large, can go out and I don't feel, and I feel like they can represent me, right? You know, I'm happy when somebody says, "Oh, you know, I met your boy. Oh, he's cool peoples." You know, and I'm not like, "Uh-oh, who'd you meet? How did it go?" You know what I mean? I'm prideful of knowing that, you know, "Oh yeah, I met some of your people. Yeah, you mad cool. Like, you got some good people around you." Like, I take pride in that, right? So that's the first step for both black men and black women. And I said this a long time ago. For a lot of people who are productive and they're getting into certain professions and reaching, you know, different educational goals, there's going to be people that you have to let go. It's as simple as that. There's definitely going to be people that you have to let go, that you can't surround yourself with. And for a lot of the African American women, this tends to be an issue. You know, going as far back as college, you'll have the one cool chick, and you're like, "Oh, okay, cool. Your friends must be the same." You meet the friends, and they're not the same. You know, how are you going to be somewhat Afrocentric or somewhat reserved and conservative, but your friends are like off the wall? They're Hollywood out. You know, they want to have fun. They want to be a party animal. They don't really care about, you know, things going on with the black experience. They just want to have fun. Like, how are you guys friends? Or you'll have the one who is, you know, the down and out baby mama going from one man to the next man. And I'm like, yo, how are these people your friends? It's not going to work, right? They don't have your similar backgrounds. See, when you surround yourself with good people, guess what? You have access to other good people, because those people are also going to surround themselves with good people. You know, I would say that I'm very lucky because I've met a lot of great people because of the fact that I choose to surround myself with good people. So I've met their brothers, their family, their cousins, their relatives, right? So my circle has grown to the point where I can trace most of the people that I know back to 4 or 5 people, you know, in terms of the web spreading out, right? And I take pride in that. So for a lot of black women, y'all have to get into that habit. There's certain people that you have to let go. It doesn't even matter if they have a job or a career. You just gotta let those people go and not be around those people. It doesn't matter if you are, you know, old friends from high school and middle school, or you guys are in the same sorority. You know, it doesn't matter. You gotta let those people go. Secondly, what we need to do is, if we do try to play matchmaker, so if I'm saying, "Oh, I got somebody I want you to meet," we have to be mindful of what they're looking for. Like I said before, people who don't have similar backgrounds aren't going to necessarily click like that. right? If I'm moving in one direction and somebody's moving in the opposite direction, we're not going to click. If your homegirl's a party animal, going from one dude to the next, I mean, yeah, you may have love for her because you guys have your own thing going on, but trust me, we're not going to work out. You know, even though you guys are friends, it doesn't mean that it's just going to automatically work. So if you're going to try to play matchmaker, understand what each side is looking for, okay? If, you know, my homegirl says, oh, there's somebody I want you to meet, you know, she's going to know, okay, I don't want to date a girl with children, so don't hook me up with a girl who has children. Or if I'm open to it, then go ahead. But don't try to tell me there's somebody I want you to meet and she's off. Because it's going to make me look like a jerk and an asshole, and I'm not going to want to mess with you anymore because I know she's going to try to pass somebody off on me as a pity case. You know, same thing with dudes, you know. Don't try to play matchmaker and, you know, hook up a friend who may not necessarily be on point or who may not necessarily have that demeanor. You know, I understand swag is a bad thing, but I understand that a lot of the times women like dudes who are confident, you know, who puts themselves together. I get that. I respect that. Okay? So if you have a boy who hasn't necessarily stepped his game up in that department, okay, I'm not talking about, oh, he needs to be a superstar, but you know what I'm talking about in terms of, you know, putting himself together. You know, does he clean up well, right? If you have a boy who you know doesn't necessarily clean up well, don't try to pass him off, right? You know, because that's going to piss the homegirl off, right? And she's not going to want to, you know, mess with you and, you know, be inclined to want to deal with you anymore. So you got to be mindful. You know, I don't recommend trying to play matchmaker, and that kind of leads me to the next step. But if you're going to do it, just understand that. And the third and final step, have events. You know, have movie nights, have game nights, you know, have barbecues. Get people to get out of the house. Trust me, people will want to come. You know, when you have those small personal kickbacks, people get to meet and greet. You know, part of the problem with black men and women is we don't know how to communicate with each other. We don't know how to talk and dialogue outside of the whole, I'm trying to holler, I'm trying to date you, I'm trying to do this or that. You know, the fact that we just can't talk to each other normally, that's a problem. Really, it is. You know, we're not used to being in small, intimate environments where we're just having discussions. You know, no one's yelling, no one's being angry, but, you know, we're just having fun, right? It's funny because last New Year's, I opted to not go to, you know, the club or some large setting. A lot of my boys wanted to do that. I ended up chilling with a friend of mine who wasn't black. And, you know, I did the whole New Year's Eve thing with him and his people, and it was a small, intimate crowd, and I had the most fun because it was small enough where everybody could talk, everybody got to know each other, and it was great. And I left upset because I knew that as black people, we never do this. We can never have an event where people are talking and mingling and not on some, oh, I'm trying to holler at you, you know, I'm trying to take you home, this, that, and the third. And when you have these smaller events, people will come, and that's how you build relationships. You know, I may know Tasha for a good 6 months, you know, we're building that relationship, and maybe after some time, we both say, maybe we can work. And we already have that foundation, as opposed to meeting somebody brand new, don't really know this person, and you're trying to work it out, right? But once you have an event, you become comfortable with people, you talk, you mingle, and after some time, you can take it from there. So you don't even really have to play matchmaker. People will naturally do it on their own. Because, you know, Tamara, who may be shy, after some time, we'll see that Jamal is showing up to these events monthly, so they'll grow their relationship. Or, you know, if Malik doesn't necessarily want to holler at, you know, Melisha right away, right? He can say, oh, you know, Melisha's going to be at the barbecue, or I'll see if she's going to go to the movie night, and, you know, maybe after the night's over, we can go get some coffee and some cake. So it's slow. You're giving people the opportunity to mix and mingle. And, hosting the events doesn't take a lot of time. Get people to chip in, rent a movie, get some pizza or get some drinks. It's not that expensive. And people will love it. People want to get out the house. But people don't necessarily want to go to the club all the time because there's no there's no filter. Especially for black people, Lord knows we don't have a filter. And we're going to be around people from all sorts of backgrounds, and we're not going to be compatible. So, in the end, that's my video. Quick recap. Number one, make sure that you're surrounding yourself with good people. If you have to let people go, let people go. Step two, if you're trying to play matchmaker, make sure that you're honestly taking into account what the people are looking for so that you're not trying to piss anybody off or just turn people away from wanting to deal with you. Step three, have events, get people out of the house. They're not that expensive. These are small groups. You're not having large parties, maybe 10 to 12 people. That's it. So that's my vid. Tell me how you feel. God bless.